Welcome to day 41 of me trying to get rid of my porn addiction in 120 days. Today, I'm not going to be talking about anything in particular, but I'm mainly just going to be talking about how I've been recently, and kind of this video is more so a reflection of myself and also what you could learn more about your porn addiction. Maybe you haven't learned something, maybe you haven't really learned much about your porn addiction and you want to learn more about it. This video is more about it if you relate to me in any way. But if you don't, if you've been watching the videos and you don't relate to me, you can just click off. But what I want to talk about is just kind of what's been replacing my porn addiction. Because for a while, for the first 30 days, I wasn't even doing anything. You know, I was just eating well, going to the gym, meditating, journaling, and it was fine. You know, those things honestly kept me happy. And I had my surge of testosterone. I was feeling like a man because this is something that I finally felt like I had control over. And still, I still do have control over it. But things happen, you know, things have happened as life is. You know, things happen in life. And I haven't been the most, happiest person. Not that I'm depressed, but it's like you could tell that my life quality has been a bit worse, just mainly because of the environment, just problems that I don't want to get into. So what I've noticed is that when before my outlet would have been porn to deal with these issues, or just to get my mind off of it, not a healthy way, not in a healthy way. But now what I've noticed is that what's replacing porn is weed is starting to kind of be that go-to. It started to kind of be that thing where oh shit, if shit's not great, what I do is now I go to weed. And I'm happy that I'm recognizing this now, because I've been smoking a lot of weed, and on top of that I took edibles, and it's not been good. And this is why I made this video, is to keep myself accountable. Tell myself that, listen, drugs will never be the solution. Drugs, alcohol, partying, having casual sex, they will never make you feel fulfilled or even just solve any of your issues. That comes from within. It comes from you staying true to yourself and dealing with shit in healthy ways. I've never really been a weed addict, I've been peer pressured. People have told me that I was boring because I don't do weed, but it's never really got to me. But I remember in university, I wanted to try it for the first time, just see how it felt. And oh my, it didn't feel I didn't feel anything for a while, but then I felt the high. And if for any first time user, anyone who's a smoker, who smokes weed and knows the effects, or knows the high, the first time high, you're gonna get the highest you've ever been in your life. You're gonna start seeing shit. You're gonna you're low-key gonna be on psychedelics. But after that, I didn't do it for a while. I've always had my weed, I've always had smoking weed under control. But I believe that now that weed is becoming more prominent, it's because before, when I used to cope with shit, it was porn. Porn almost became, as I said, became my caregiver. It came to take care of me when I had some shit, because as I said, my family life wasn't the best. Life in general isn't the best. I wasn't I went to high school. I was always seen as the loser kid, or not seen as a loser kid, but I didn't really have many quality friends. Got bullied, racism, all that stuff. Porn was the only time in my life when I was fuck, I actually felt somewhat good. And that's a whole different story. I've never been depressed. I've never been none of that stuff. I've always low-key, maybe I was depressed. Maybe I was. But I just want to say that my life wasn't the greatest. My life was not the greatest. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the greatest. But now that I'm kind of going through things, I recently graduated. I'm trying to find my own way in this world. I'm trying to find out also who I am, but also deal with certain issues, obstacles that I need to solve. It's been, it's been stressful. And weed has kind of, as I said, been there. Weed has been that thing that's kind of, I go to just to kind of relax a bit. But it's not good. It's not good. You shouldn't be dependent on anything. No substance. You shouldn't be dependent on, honestly, no, you shouldn't be dependent on any substance that's harming your body. There's this debate that weed is actually good for you. And okay, listen, if that's the type of person you are, like go ahead, smoke weed. If it doesn't affect your day-to-day life, then go ahead. I'm not gonna tell you what's right and wrong. Only you can determine that. But for me, what I've noticed is that I'm a lot more sharper. I feel a lot more motivated, and just life without any drugs, alcohol, porn, it's always been better than me being dependent on drugs. It always is, and this is the case for many people. They've always told me, and I've always seen this on YouTube as well. 365 days without porn or weed, and you could see your life instantly gets better. So I'm happy that I'm catching on to this now. I'm catching on to myself. I know myself, because there's been many times when I've told myself that, listen, it's just porn. This one time, then after that, there we go. I'll stop. But we know, if you've watched porn and you've been in a similar position as me, you know that's cap. You watch this one time, oh, there we go. It's fine. Then I'll get rid of it. Same goes for weed. I'll smoke weed this one time, and then after it's over, I'm never smoking weed again. But then you start craving it. It's all the same, guys. It's not. None of it's that different. It's just your brain. It's how, it's your psychology. Especially if you're a type of person like me, you have an addictive personality where you could be really turned on, in terms of anything. You could be really dialed in with your diet. You could be really dialed in with your business. But on the opposite, it's not. You could be really distracted, almost like ADHD. You could be very off your goal, especially if you don't like it. You're extreme on both ends. You're either a really high performer or you're a really low performer. You're not in the middle. And I've noticed this is the same with habits. Whatever I do on a day-to-day basis, and I stick to it, it becomes addictive. But if it's and that goes for both good and bad habits. So yeah, basically the point of this video is I just wanted to kind of keep myself accountable. Know that smoking weed, it's not the answer. Watching porn is not the answer. And the thing is I know that the more I smoke weed, it's gonna make me more a bit laxed with me, watching porn. I might slip up. I know myself. And that's the main thing that I want to get through in this challenge, is you got to know yourself. Know yourself. Know why you do things. Stop just aimlessly doing stuff just because you oh, okay, this is just what I do. Start questioning. And I'm telling you, your life will get so much better. Just question everything you do, whether good or bad. Anyways, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll tune in to day 42. We're 1/3 away from completing this challenge. In 20 days, I'm gonna be halfway. And honestly, I'm so happy with the amount of progress I've made. If my past self saw that I went 40 days without jerking off, he'd be proud of himself. Honestly. So use me. If you're seeing these videos and you have your own addiction, use me as inspiration. Use me as inspiration. See the way I'm talking. See just the physical transformation that I'm also making. This NoFap shit works. It works. It really does. But it's not gonna but the thing is, it's not just about NoFap. The reason why I'm preaching NoFap is because it's about self-improvement. You can't just be doing NoFap and then after that just replace the porn with weed. It's about being the best version of yourself. But anyways, enough with the yap. I'll see you tomorrow.